In Hollywood, some names just carry a certain weight. When your dad is Steven Seagal, the Aikido master who made snapping bones a blockbuster art form, people expect you to be tough. And when your mom is Kelly LeBrock, the supermodel and actress who basically defined 80s glamour, the world probably expects you on a runway, not a wrestling mat. But for their daughter, Arissa LeBrock, expectations were just the first opponent she had to take down. This isn't a story about riding famous coattails. It's about carving a totally new path with pure grit, sweat, and a fighting spirit that's all her own. It's the story of trading the spotlight for the harsh lights of a gym and proving that real strength isn't something you inherit, it's something you earn, one grueling hour at a time. You've seen her father in the movies, but Arissa LeBrock's fight skills are no Hollywood stunt. While Steven Seagal was breaking bones on screen, his daughter was on the mats, getting put through the ringer in the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This is the untold story of how the supermodel-turned-fighter is channeling that raw power to dominate her competition in the ring. Number 1. The Legacy of Two Worlds. To really get Arissa LeBrock's journey, you have to understand the two completely different worlds she was born into on July 24, 1993. On one side, you had the explosive, high-impact universe of her father, Steven Seagal. In the late 80s and 90s, Seagal wasn't just another action star. He was a martial arts phenom. His movies, like Above the Law and Hard to Kill, were built on his legit and intimidating background as a 7th Dan black belt in Aikido. He brought a brutal realism to his fight scenes that audiences hadn't really seen before. His name basically became a synonym for untouchable, bone-breaking justice. That was the Seagal legacy: power, discipline, and a deep connection to martial arts. On the other side was the magnetic, high-fashion world of her mother, Kelly LeBrock. Kelly was a giant in her own right, a supermodel who graced magazine covers before stealing scenes in movies like The Woman in Red and the classic Weird Science. She was the definition of confidence and star power. Her legacy was about glamour, poise, and owning a room without saying a word. Growing up as the daughter of Hard to Kill and The Woman in Red was, to put it mildly, a unique reality. But Kelly LeBrock made a point of raising her kids away from the Hollywood chaos, moving the family to a ranch to give them a more grounded upbringing. Arissa later credited this for her work ethic and perseverance. Still, the pull of her parents' worlds was strong. Arissa was first drawn to modeling and found her own success as a plus-size model, championing body positivity long before it was a trend. She even appeared with her mom on the reality series Growing Up Supermodel, where she made it crystal clear she was building her own brand. In a promo for the show, she pushed back against the constant comparisons, saying, "Oh, you're Kelly LeBrock's daughter. You're Steven Seagal's daughter. No, I'm me." It was a clear sign she was determined to build an identity separate from her parents' massive shadows. She was making a name for herself in her mother's world, but another calling, one that echoed her father's path, was about to take over. Number 2. The Twist, from Runway to Rolling. So how does a successful model and reality TV personality trade the fashion world for the unforgiving mats of a jiu-jitsu gym? Well, it wasn't a hobby. Arissa LeBrock didn't just dip her toes into martial arts. She dove headfirst into one of the most demanding combat sports out there: Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This was a total immersion. Arissa started training with a ferocious intensity, hitting the mats up to 6 days a week at the famed Paragon Jiu-Jitsu and Kickboxing Academy in California. Anyone who's ever tried BJJ knows that level of commitment is no joke. It's a sport that grinds you down physically and mentally. It's a world of constant, high-pressure problem-solving where you pay for every inch of progress with sweat and bruises. This pivot was a huge shift in her story. While modeling was about challenging outside ideas of beauty, BJJ was about discovering her own inner strength. It was raw and completely unglamorous. There are no perfect takes on the mat. There's just the humbling reality of tapping out, the slow grind of getting better, and the quiet satisfaction of finally nailing a technique. In the world of jiu-jitsu, your last name doesn't help you escape a chokehold. The respect she earned at her academy wasn't given to her because of her parents. It was forged through sheer consistency and a willingness to be just another student. She was proving day after day that the fighting spirit wasn't just in her father's blood, it was in her own heart. This brutal training would soon lead to a moment that would silence any doubters and prove her skills were the real deal. Number 3. The grind forging legitimacy. In combat sports, talk is cheap. A famous name might get you noticed, but it won't win you any fights. Credibility is everything, and you only earn it one way, through competition. Arissa LeBrock knew this. After years of intense training, she was ready to test her skills, not in a friendly gym role, but on the competitive stage. She threw herself into the world of competitive BJJ, putting her skills to the test in official tournaments. This wasn't just about showing up. It was about proving her dedication in a world where lineage means nothing unless it's a grappling lineage. Competing at this level requires serious commitment and is a testament to the thousands of hours she poured into her craft. This wasn't some local tournament. Stepping onto the mats at major IBJJF events means you're competing against some of the most dedicated practitioners from all over the world. While official public records of a specific high-level medal are hard to pin down, her active participation and dedication to competing were undeniable proof of her skill, toughness, and drive. It was a clear statement. The daughter of an action hero had become a legitimate combat sports athlete in her own right, earning respect through her own hard work. This achievement caught the eye of a totally different kind of entertainment giant, one that saw the perfect mix of her athletic background and star quality. The biggest wrestling promotion in the world came calling. If you're finding this story of resilience and raw power as incredible as we are, do us a favor and smash that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. You won't want to miss how this journey takes an even more dramatic turn, because Arissa's biggest fight was still ahead of her, and it wasn't going to take place on the jiu-jitsu mats. Number 4. The setback and the comeback. With a legit BJJ background and a black belt in fighting genetics, Arissa LeBrock was a prospect that the world of sports entertainment couldn't ignore. In December 2019, she got the call that every aspiring wrestler dreams of, an invitation to a tryout at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. This was her shot to merge her real combat skills with the larger-than-life spectacle of pro wrestling. The WE tryout is famously brutal, designed to push athletes to their absolute limits. Arissa, with her proven toughness and unique background, was a natural fit. She had the pedigree, the look, and the grappling skills that could translate into a powerful and authentic ring style. And then, just like that, it all went wrong. In a tough turn of events, Arissa suffered a significant injury around the time of the tryout that brought her wrestling dreams to a screeching halt. The specifics have been kept private, but the result was clear. The journey was over before it really began. Imagine that feeling. You chase this impossible dream, you're right on the edge of a new life, and it's snatched away by an injury you can't control. What followed was a dark period of recovery and serious self-doubt. The future that seemed so bright had disappeared. In her own words, she fell into a deep rut, saying, "I had become comfortable in the darkest, worst place in my life." For most people, that would have been the end of the story. But just when it seemed the dream was dead, her phone rang. On the other end was a man who knows a thing or two about legacy and comebacks. The legendary Dustin Rhodes. Rhodes, a future Hall of Famer himself, saw past the injury. He saw an athlete whose story was far from over. He invited her to his respected Rhodes Wrestling Academy in Texas, offering her a second chance to rebuild from the ground up. That call was the spark she needed. As Arissa later put it, "It was time for me to give every ounce of passion within me to professional wrestling." She packed her bags for Texas, ready to embrace the old-school, fundamental-driven training the Rhodes Academy is known for. This wasn't just another prospect with a famous name. This was a dedicated student, ready to earn her place all over again. The comeback was officially on. Number 5. The Climax, Unleashing Raw Power. The Rhodes Wrestling Academy was a different world from the polished WWE Performance Center. It was a place built on grit and fundamentals, where you earn respect with hard work. Under Dustin Rhodes' guidance, Arissa began the meticulous process of becoming a pro wrestler. Her BJJ background wasn't just an interesting fact anymore. It was the core of her new identity. Dustin didn't just train her, he mentored her. He spoke confidently about her future, saying in an interview, "She's doing a great job, but this is only the beginning for her. Pretty soon the whole world's going to be talking about Arissa LeBrock." He and his team worked with Arissa to methodically rebuild her body and confidence, or, as he put it, get all her ducks in a row. She wasn't just learning moves. She was learning how to tell a story in the ring. After months of this transformative training, her moment finally came. In March 2023, Arissa LeBrock graduated from the Rhodes Wrestling Academy and made her official in-ring debut at its student showcase. This wasn't some huge arena. It was an intimate setting, filled with people who knew the blood and sweat that led to this one moment. When she stepped through the ropes, she wasn't a celebrity's daughter or a failed prospect. She was a survivor. She had overcome a major injury and crushing self-doubt. She was a wrestler. Her style in the ring was instantly unique. It was a display of raw, physical combat. Drawing heavily from her BJJ skills, she presented a powerful, grounded presence. Her offense wasn't about flashy acrobatics. It was about dominance. It was about using her strength and grappling knowledge to control her opponents and overwhelm them with a relentless, powerful assault. This was the raw power from the title made real. It was her father's on-screen persona, but filtered through her own journey and legitimized by her real-world skills. Every takedown and submission attempt was a testament to her resilience. Her matches on the independent circuit that followed showed a performer who was both an explosive athlete and a smart storyteller, proving she didn't need a corporate machine to make her mark. From the shadow of two Hollywood giants to the runway, from the jiu-jitsu mats to the brink of a WE career, and from the depths of a major injury to a triumphant return, Arissa LeBrock's journey is a masterclass in resilience. She refused to let her last name define her, choosing instead to build her own identity with sweat, discipline, and a genuine passion for combat. She proved her legitimacy in the grueling world of competitive martial arts. When faced with a setback that would have broken most, she found the strength to rebuild herself with the help of a wrestling legend who saw the fire in her. Today, she isn't just a model or a celebrity's daughter. She's a professional wrestler, a powerful grappler, and a symbol of what it means to get back up. Arissa LeBrock's story is far from over. With a foundation built on real skill and a story forged in real adversity, her potential seems limitless. The raw power she brings to the ring is matched only by her own personal strength. The only question now is, what's next? Will her path lead back to a global stage like WE or AEW, or will she keep dominating the indie circuit on her own terms? Arissa has the pedigree, the training, and the heart of a champion. But do you think she has what it takes to reach the very top of the wrestling world? Let us know what you think in the comments below.